Discipline. How do we get it and keep a hold of it? Hi, I'm Amanda Rose. I'm down 140 pounds. Most of that was over the course of the year, where I ate no more than one meal a day. That took a lot of discipline, and I hadn't even appreciated the rules that I had in place for myself that helped me with success until I started this group on Facebook. And we have a lot of people really struggling with like getting on the wagon and staying on the wagon. And so what I wanted to do is say a little bit about what I've done over the last year. And it certainly gets easier, and it's really interesting why. But first of all, what did I do? As you might know from my story, I say that I ate no more than one meal a day over all of those months. But there were days where I ate 0 meals. So I would do a little fast of maybe 48 hours or 72 hours. I had rules in place to keep myself on target. The number one rule was every night I would decide what I was going to do the next day. Was I eating my one meal? Was I fasting? And whatever I decided the night before, I did that. There was one time, back in January or something, where I thought I'm going to go big and I'm going to do a 5-day fast. And so I started on day one of that, just having water. It was really hard. And I felt like it was hard not because I was just being a big baby, but I really felt like I needed more nutrition than that. And just physically it was hard. But the night before, I had made the plan to fast that day. And when I realized how hard it was for me, I said to my kids, I'm sorry, I'm going to be grumpy today. This is going to be a hard day, but I have to get through this day of fasting, and I will eat tomorrow, and I'll be back. So we just have to survive. I told a friend about that case. She's a mental health professional, and she was fascinated because she said, well, why didn't you just eat? And I said, well, because I made the rule the night before, and whatever rule I make the night before, I do not break. But then on that day one of the fast, I got through it. I was grumpy, but I got through it, and my plan for the next day was to eat. So I broke the fast the next day, but I did not break it, even though I knew I was going to, and that for health reasons, I needed to. But up here, you guys, this is like 99.8% a mind game. It's a total head game, getting through all this and getting through the grind. And so I would have my rule in place, and I kept it. I kept it all year. And that is how I lost the weight, because every single day you will convince yourself that you need to eat more, that you need to eat longer, because your hormones are telling you that you're hungry. And then that'll play with your head. And then, we all want to eat. We enjoy eating. You're going to eat. And so if you don't have the rule and you don't cling to it like this, it is so easy to fall off the wagon. So I really encourage you to implement some kind of a rule. Now your window might be completely different. So it might be like a 4-hour or a 6-hour or an 8-hour window. Be mindful of the window. Don't break your rule. Find a window that's going to work for you and don't go beyond it. It's very important up here not to go beyond it. And make rules too about like what you're eating, because I certainly had rules in place about what food I allowed in that window. And you can't break it. And that's so obvious, like that's what discipline is about. But you will always, always in the moment be able to convince yourself that you need to eat that thing. All right? If you stay committed to the rule through all the months, and even if the rule is allowing that one cheat, I still drink, I think, more coffee than I should, for instance. I allow that in. So allowing myself to have that pleasure is not breaking the rule because I allow it in. So there might be something you need to allow to keep you on track and to keep you from breaking the general spirit of the rule. You might consider that. And so it's really interesting why it gets easier. And, on one hand, you're eating less sugar, so you're sort of less sugar addicted, and, that's sort of the obvious part of it. But it gets easier because it works. And the thing is, as this diet works for you, and you see your success, you're not going to want to break your rule. You're going to want to keep going. It's self-reinforcing in just such a powerful way, I can't even believe it. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling with this, make your rules, and then fight like heck to keep those rules long enough. At least 2 weeks, you're going to be seeing your results. Keep them, fight for them on day one. Day one is the hard one. Day 2 is pretty hard. By day 3, you got some wings, you're going. Fight to keep the rules in place. Get through 2 weeks, and you will start seeing results. If this works at all for you, you're going to see results in 2 weeks, and then you might be so inspired to stick with it that you find like, wow, these rules are great and I'm going for this. And that is how I was able to keep them in place all of those months, because they worked and I was losing the weight, I was seeing the results, and I was feeling better. And so you need to get past that stage. Rules are a grind, I know, but these are really going to help you get your new momentum and see that this works for you. And then you're just going to be unstoppable. Okay? So get going on it. Think about it. Give a lot of thought to like what's holding you up, what rules you need to put in place that are going to work for you, and go do it, you guys. And so Eat Like a Bear, all the discussions are happening on Facebook. Find us there.